My name is Ryan Pack.
And I'm Nicole Barlow.
And this is Soundtrack Your Life, where we speak with a guest about a soundtrack that is important to them. Today, our guest is Monique Powell, lead singer of the ska band Save Ferris. Welcome, Monique.
Hello.
So, Save Ferris has been pretty active recently. They've been touring, which is what a good ska band does. Over the last couple of months, you guys have dropped a couple singles. You did Get Dancing. You released Get Dancing back in April, and you just released Ooh Ooh Rudy back in June.
Yeah, so Ooh Rudy is just a soft release. We haven't done the official release for that yet, but prior to Get Dancing, it was Lights Out in a Reptile House, and then we also had a Christmas song last year.
I like the vibe of the new singles. It's kind of chill, perfect for summer.
Yeah, I did an interview for CNN, and the guy who interviewed me called it the song of the summer. And I thought, I like the ring of that.
Ooh, I like that too.
Yeah.
I don't think there has been an official song of the summer, so I think that should be up in the running.
I don't think so either. I think we need to nominate it here and now. Let's officially nominate it for Song of the Summer. I mean, the video is at a boardwalk. It's at the beach. Please. What else do you need?
I agree. Yeah.
And nothing really beats Orange County in the summer.
No. But that was actually filmed in LA. So.
I was going to say, did you film it in Venice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Venice gets used for OC a lot, and sometimes OC and Long Beach get used for Venice. That whole Olympics opening, that closing ceremony thing where I think everybody thought Snoop was in LA for the LA Olympics, but it's actually filmed in Long Beach.
Oh.
Just a little,
Oh, a little tidbit.
Beach is a beach. Where it's okay.
Beach is a beach. It's true.
Beach is the beach.
Just take PCH a couple miles down and you're in Orange County. So.
It's all connected.
Yeah, it's all connected.
Our jobs are beach.
Mm-hmm.
Our jobs are beach. Exactly.
Right on.
So Nicole and I are based in Orange County, and that is also where Save Ferris was born. So we're very excited to have you. I have friends who are who have Save Ferris stories. My band opened for them in 96 before we broke up and went to college. And, we've got a lot of fun stories. Nicole has a great story as well.
Do I have a great story, Ryan? I forgot. What is the story?
Your husband was designing Save Ferris websites in high school.
I forgot to put it in front of me, but I am going to show this to Monique. Okay, so my husband is a creative director / graphic designer, and we're talking about this interview. He's like, that's really great. I just found my web designs from 1999 that I had to do for design class, and one of the web pages for, I don't even know if you were on Epic. It's Epic Records, and the landing page is for Save Ferris and has all your song titles and all this design for Save Ferris. And stop it right now. This is how iconic you were in the OC area, because he was going to Chapman at the time.
Oh, that is so cool.
So the first band that he thought of was obviously it's Save Ferris. And I'm telling you right now, you were everyone's crush's crush. You were the lead singer that had the pipes, the style, the presence. I remember being in high school and absolutely idolizing Save Ferris, and you're just powerhouse. You were everything in the 90s. For people that are uninitiated and do not know, Save Ferris is everything. It is OC history. It is third wave ska history.
It is so kind. Thank you. Yeah, I feel totally unworthy of any of that.
Literally very important to everyone, but specifically if you are from the OC, this is a very big thing. This is very real. It's not even a 6 degrees. It's a 1 degree.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, one of my best friends. He played bass in the Knuckle Brothers. They were a band, and he's one of my highlights. One of the highlights of his life was they got to play with you and Phantom Planet at the Anaheim House of Blues. It was the biggest show that they got to play, and he still talks about it as one of the highlights of his life.
Knuckle Brothers was one of my favorite bands back in the day. I loved them.
I'm going to send him that audio clip, and it's going to make his day.
Yeah, I mean, I ended up bringing their trombone player into Save Ferris.
Yep, he was very proud of that. He's like, we shared
Yeah.
a horn section player.
Yeah, yeah.
So I went to UC Irvine for college, and I've been in Orange County ever since. And it's been fun discovering people's like different like ska stories of when the scene was, because I wasn't there for when like the scene was at its peak,
Yeah.
but people still love talking about that stuff.
They do, and they like reliving that time in their lives too, which is why, half of our audience is people my age who either went to shows back in the day or wanted to go to shows and couldn't and can now because, the band's still touring. So it's pretty cool. Like there's the whole, like, what do you call it? Like reliving of your youth sort of aspect to a lot of the shows. And then there's also, kids who think we wrote Come On Eileen.
Well, that is, I think, a trouble that a lot of bands and artists have when they have a cover that absolutely blows up, and then there are entire generations of people for whom, Dexy's Midnight Runners is a totally unknown thing. I'm pretty sure it was for me in high school, and even if it did come out like, oh yeah, Dexy's Midnight Runners sang it originally, I don't think anyone cared. Because it's one of those instances where, sometimes the cover sort of overshadows the original in a lot of ways, or at least to like a certain cohort of people. It becomes such a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like, I like that cover because the original was so precious to me. I really wanted to do it justice, but then also make it sound like a Save Ferris song. So it's always refreshing to play it. I always think, wow, what a great job we did with this song. I hope Kevin Rowland likes it. But on that, I don't know.
Oh, you've never heard anything about how it was received by the band members?
No,
That's interesting.
never. I know, it's so weird. You would think, but
You would think. Yeah.
yeah.
So interesting. Well, I would love to think that they are very impressed. Maybe too impressed. Maybe they're like, it's too good. I can't acknowledge it.
It's so good I can't even listen to it. Turn it off.
I'm like, oh no. They outshone us. You didn't even have to wear like those half overalls where you're naked underneath.
I loved that.
What did I
love
call
that
it?
video so much as a kid. It was like, they're so cute.
Well, speaking of nostalgic things, I think, the 90s gets looked at and third wave ska and that whole period of time where people were experiencing the joy of this music and things were really happening at like clubs and venues in OC. Describe what it was like to be like an unsigned band at that time. And like, do you have any fun stories from like that scene that you remember really vividly?
Well, I just remember everything feeling so possible. Like anything was possible. And life was good. Like we didn't really have that much to worry about. We would go to these shows and see our friends play and experience this freedom and this sort of feeling of community that was really cool. And I made a lot of friends in the scene. And so, being an unsigned band in our late teens, early 20s felt so like, I can't believe this is happening. Like with every show that we played, large or small, it was still like we played like we were playing for thousands and thousands of people. And just everybody that showed up, 10 people, 10,000 people, they were just so important to us. And that is something I practice even today. I think, our fans are so precious, and I'm so lucky that you showed up today.
I remember, Save Ferris was so iconic for K-Rock. And so K-Rock is a local radio station to LA, but I think has a life beyond that. And these K-Rock acoustic Christmas compilations were sort of like it, and you would wait to get tickets at like your local Tower Records to go to the acoustic Christmas show. And you were so like such a strong presence on those compilations. Do you enjoy making, Christmas songs? Is that something that like is really big for Save Ferris?
I don't know if it's really big, but I enjoyed like covering the waitresses,
Mm-hmm.
Christmas wrapping, and
It's great.
um, this most recent Christmas song that I wrote, which is not a cover. It was cool because I had this vision that I really wanted like a Halloween type of song on one side of the 7-inch and a Christmas song on the other side of the 7-inch, and to release it just before Halloween, which we did, and it came out great. And I don't know, it made me really happy. It's the first original Christmas song we did.
So also in the 90s, what was big was, these soundtracks that had like a billion different songs on them. And, we interviewed one of the guys from Semisonic a couple years ago. And, a lot of the answers to like, oh, you guys are on this soundtrack and this soundtrack, they're just like, yeah, I guess management and the label just like stuck us on there. And they just kind of told us like, yeah, you're on the soundtrack now. Did you find that was kind of the case with Save Ferris? Like, oh, people like Save Ferris, we're just going to stick them in these soundtracks and just be like, oh, sure, scary movie.
Like, how did that come about? Like, is that something
Yeah.
that like it's just like, okay, it's happening, or do you remember having like a really active role in those decisions as they were happening?
Well, with the scary movie thing, that was kind of similar to the Semisonic guys' experience. It was sort of like, I guess we're in the soundtrack now. And it was sort of a label decision, I believe. But for like the 10 Things I Hate About You soundtrack, obviously we so we recorded this song and we had it and put it on the soundtrack, and it happened to be the song that we also performed in the movie, so it worked out.
Yeah. So as far as the movie went, like, did you have to do like a screen test to be casted? How did that conversation of you guys being in the movie, how did that happen?
No, we were like on Warp Tour, and they were like, okay, you guys are flying to Seattle on your one day off to go be in a movie. We're like, cool, let's do it. And so, yeah, we just sort of showed up real green, not knowing what to expect, and just did what they told us.
Oh, so you shot this in one day? This was a one-day shoot for the prom scene in 10 Things
Yeah,
About You? Wow.
yeah.
That's
We
so
were only
fast.
available for that one day.
And so you didn't really
But
get a chance to do like rehearsal. You just kind of walked on set and remember being like directed to what to do.
yeah, they just told us what to do. But it was easy because it was a song we already knew and we were already playing live, and we just had to be ourselves. Just we didn't really have to be somebody else. So just be a band. That we're like, that's easy.
You're like, cool, we know how to do that.
Yeah,
That seems
be a
fine
band.
and fun.
Yeah, we know
I'm
how to
just
do that.
amazed that it happened that quickly. So it didn't really feel like it was pre-planned. It wasn't like you had 6 months of notice. It was just like one day we're on Warp Tour and the call comes in and we're flying to this random high school that looks like Hogwarts by the Sea in Tacoma.
I can't even remember what the school was, where it was, or any of that. It was a long time ago. But what I do remember is being sort of like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing this now. Like, so maybe everybody else knew, but I didn't. And it just felt very really exciting and very like, oh, we're gonna be in a movie. Cool.
I mean, it is
So
very cool, and I'm assuming that the way that it happened, you didn't have any sense at the time of how sort of iconic this movie was going to become and how long a
mhm.
shelf life it would have, because I think this is one of like the essential 90s teen movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now that I think about it, I may have like gotten the script a couple days before just to look over it. But I was like, what do I need to know what's going on? Like, we're just a band at a prom. And of course, we had no idea that the movie was going to be what it became. Heath Ledger at the time was relatively unknown. It may have even been his first American film. I'm not sure, but if not the first, one of them. And so, yeah, we didn't really know any of the actors who were in the film. They weren't recognizable names to us at the time, for the most part, you know? And so we just thought, oh, this will be like a, you know, a cool indie film or something like that. We had no idea. I had no idea what it was going to become.
Yeah, so you weren't told like, oh yeah, this movie is a modernized version of Shakespeare.
I was. And so when I read the script, I knew it was a loose interpretation of The Taming of the Shrew, but I didn't really see too many comparisons there. But I thought that was kind of a cool concept.
I always think it's weird, usually when you film scenes like this in movies, everything is kind of on silent and everybody's dancing to like a rhythm that doesn't exist because the music is oftentimes not played on set. Is that your recollection, that the music was not being played on set, so you were just sort of like up there with a bunch of people dancing to nothing?
Yes, that was exactly it. That was, I was going to say, the weirdest part of it was just dancing to music that didn't exist and trying to look cool. Everybody, like all the extras and everybody sort of really being into it and doing a great job acting the role. But the whole idea of dancing to silence is it just, and it I don't know how they get it to transfer. Like, there wasn't even a click track for everybody to dance to. So I don't know how they transfer that when they got the audio together for the film. But everybody seemed to look like they knew what they were doing. So
Yeah, I mean, it comes across great. It comes across as like the coolest prom ever. I feel like I want to ask you if you want to apologize for setting up unrealistic expectations for like how cool prom was gonna be. Save Ferris didn't play at our proms. Like, I was like a middle-aged DJ with a receding hairline. I think did like weddings on the weekends.
yeah.
And then
I
like a
do
new
think we played
video.
one prom. Like
Really?
one real prom. Yeah, I think it was a
No.
contest. And yeah, I think it was in Orange County somewhere. Yeah.
Like a like a K-Rock contest kind of thing?
Something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Or maybe Redlands. Redlands.
Redlands.
Something like
Wow.
that.
Do you remember
Yeah.
playing a whole set, or did you just kind of like pop in and play a
And we
song?
played a whole set.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was this
They were
after
into it.
10 Things I Hate About You came out or before? Do you recall?
I think it was before. Yeah. So filming 10 Things I Hate About You, we're like, huh, okay, I know how to do that.
We've done a prom before. We've done it all by now, including playing a high school prom.
No problem. Just
maybe in
tell me where
Redlands.
to stand.
That's amazing,
good.
actually. Do you remember what it was like to work with Letters to Cleo and with Kate Hanley? Because you have, these kind of great moments with them on the fake stage in the movie as well. Or were they there for a day too and it was just like, it's a blur?
I totally got to meet them, and I can't remember where it was, but I got to hang out with them somehow relative to the film. So I'm not sure if it was the night after we filmed the scene and then we got to hang out with those guys. But I loved them, and I loved her. She was so cool. Really, really a cool chick.
Were you told that you were gonna, be doing a song with them on the stage as well? I believe it's a cover of Nick Lowe's "Cool to Be Cruel."
Cruel to be kind.
Oh, "Cruel to Be Kind."
Yeah.
Sorry, "Cruel to Be Kind."
Yeah. No, I knew all that. That was like all in the script, and that was cool. But the last scene on the rooftop was supposed to be us for a minute. We were told that that might be
Really?
us. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I don't know how we got switched out for that, but that would have been really cool.
So I read a thing about that I guess that scene never officially got greenlit by Disney, and they just sort of did it anyway by helicopter because there's no drones when this movie is being made. So it was a helicopter shot. And there's some stuff that you can read with Kay from Letters to Cleo where she's like, yeah, there was like nothing separating us from just like falling into the Puget Sound. It felt like really unsafe. So I don't know, you may have like dodged one with not having to go on the roof. Who knows?
You may have.
Yeah, putting a whole
Sounds
horn
like it.
section up there might have been too much.
Yeah, I might have tipped it over
Or
the
like
edge, right?
Yeah. Your band's just too big for this scene. Sorry, guys. There's not enough room on the roof for all of you. Too dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, if you watched it back last night, and it did look kind of unsafe to be up there.
There's no barrier. There's no
No.
barrier. There's like one
No.
thin little wire that's sort of, fencing them, and that's it. There's nothing.
Yeah.
I
And
think
then,
they did it in
like,
like 2 takes maybe, and they were
all
like,
the
"Well, it's gonna have
noise
to
from the
be."
helicopter, all the wind and everything, and you still have to be able to hear the song
Right?
and lip sync to it. It must have been really hard.
Yeah, and it's funny because if you look at the 10 Things I Hate About You soundtrack, you have Save Ferris and you have Madness. So there's definitely like ska on the soundtrack. But when you watch the movie, it seems like the movie has a lot more ska than the soundtrack does. Like the soundtrack tries to kind of like split it up like, oh, we've got all these different genres on here. But when you watch the movie, it's like mostly ska.
Yeah, like the the music director and the composer for the film just went, all right, let's just ska it up.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly right. They were like, let's ska it up because the score is on and off. It's just like a ska vibe pretty much all the way through. But I think that was the moment, right, where like if you had a teen movie or you had a rom-com, it was sort of essential that you had like a cool ska band to be in that film. 'Cause Mighty Mighty Boss Tones were in
Clueless.
Clueless.
Yeah.
Real Big Fish was in Trey Parker and Matt Stone's Basketball. I feel like that genre of music was so synonymous with fun and youth, and you were gonna get that it band if you wanted your movie to do numbers at the box office.
Yeah, I always laugh at that. It was like, you were in a real ska band if you weren't in a prom scene in the 90s.
It's true.
It's one of the requirements.
It needed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can't get that prom gig, better break up the band.
Yep, it's over.
So the guy who scored the film, his name is Richard Gibbs, and he was in Oingo Boingo, so he does have some ska cred.
Hi. That's cool to know.
Yeah, he also scored Say Anything, and apparently he's like good friends with Jonathan Davis of Korn because he worked on Queen of the Damned, and he was like the musical director for Korn's Unplugged.
Dang. That's cool. He scored Say Anything. Cool, I like that.
Yeah, the music department for this movie, like they really brought it. Like the producer and soundtrack supervisor, he also did The Craft, which is also a great soundtrack.
Ooh. I like that movie.
So like the idea that this like movie works on a soundtrack level like totally makes sense to me with like the people behind it.
Totally. You learn something new every day, huh?
I also think what I like about this soundtrack too, and your inclusion in it and Letters to Cleo's inclusion in it, is that it has a really strong sort of feminist lead in Julia Stiles. It has kind of it's a little bit anti, I think, what was going on at the time with a lot of teen movies, where you had a lot of like sexist tropes and stereotypes. It really wasn't that. And I feel like they took a lot of care to make sure that they were very leaned into like, no, we want strong female presence in this movie. And I think, again, like your inclusion in this is such a part of that for those of us that love the film.
Wow. Thank you. And now that I think about it, yeah, like you're so right about that. That movie was different than all the others. Yeah. It really did speak a different message.
I was very shocked to hear a Bikini Kill reference in 1999.
Oh.
In like a big studio film. That was really cool. Whoever
Yeah.
was doing the art direction for Julia Stiles' room with all the posters,
Yes.
like
All the posters.
very
Yeah.
impressed by that.
Yes, me too. I always look at those scenes of kids' rooms in movies to see who's on the walls.
Me too. Yeah. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
we do too, because we're always like scanning
Hmm.
for Easter eggs and stuff. But that's always
Hmm.
like, okay, like what did the art department decide to like find? Like who are we in the scene? Did you have
Yeah.
posters on your wall as a kid? Like was it was more of a thing, I feel. It used to be more of a thing. Do you
I
remember
mean,
having like rock posters in your room?
well,
I feel like I'm too
I
embarrassed to say.
actually remember having River Phoenix on my wall. I was
Oh,
obsessed
I mean,
with River
taste.
Phoenix.
Listen,
Oh,
taste.
I loved him so much.
Yes, he
But
was amazing.
musically, not really. I didn't really have a lot of that, but a lot of River Phoenix.
Yeah, I feel like it was more like if you were like a teen or preteen girl, like it was more like that Tiger B vibe, like where you
Yeah,
just had like
Tiger B.
heartthrobs
Totally.
like on your wall, but the whole
Yeah.
thing with like music posters, it's like I don't know who was doing that, but I see it in movies all the time.
Yeah, but my sister definitely had like David Bowie on her wall, and that's how I got into Bowie and stuff. Was through seeing that and the like her Devo records and stuff. So if I would have had anybody on the wall, it might have been them and Prince, because I
Oh,
love
of
Prince
course.
a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
My older sister, who was in high school when I was quite small, because we have a big age gap, I remember she had a giant Prince Purple Rain poster in her room for the longest time. And I swear to God, that changed like my brain chemistry. Like you
Yeah.
can't look at that Purple Rain poster of Prince every day and not be like, I want to find out more about that.
What is that? Yeah,
Who is
that's
that?
how I was with Bowie. Like
Yeah.
I would just stare at this picture of him on her wall and say, that is the most beautiful being I've ever seen. Like, what is their story? You know?
Something
And
otherworldly.
then I heard Changes and Changes won, and I was like, oh, it's over.
It's done.
Yeah.
Relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, we once got to interview a fashion designer who worked with David Bowie on a fashion line.
Oh my God. What was their name?
Keenan Duffy.
Uh,
So it was like,
I
tell
met
us
him
details.
once.
Oh, you met Keenan?
No,
Oh,
I
Bowie.
met Bowie.
Oh,
I met
even
Bowie
better.
once.
Good. What was
Well-
your Bowie encounter and how did that come about?
Well, it was one of those K-Rock shows that you were talking about
Okay.
earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to meet him and then just sort of fell apart, and the whole thing became very short.
Do you remember forgetting words? Did you just sort of
No
Breathe?
words.
Nothing
I
came
just was like, I just stared at him, and he had such a beautiful smile. It's like, I can't say
Yeah.
anything right now.
I don't
And
think
I
you
started
can-
to tear up, and then it was just, he was like, bye. Bye.
He's like, okay, well,
I don't have time for this right now. Bye. So,
I'm sure he gets that reaction. He got that reaction a lot.
well, that's
I
all
only
I'm
got to see him live once, and it was at some like Moby produced like showcase.
He had like
at
a festival
Irvine.
thing, right?
Yeah, he had a festival for a brief moment, and it was at Irvine Meadows, which I know
Mhm.
you played back in the day. You were on some like epic lineups at Irvine Meadows back in the day.
Yeah.
So I remember that like very vividly. It was very.
Wow, that must have been cool.
It was very, yeah, but I've never been like up close to Bowie, so that's like way cooler.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, you're so much shorter than I imagined.
Oh, really?
I was thinking that too.
Celebrities are always
shorter.
smaller when
They
you-
are, right?
Yeah, they're always tiny. It's like they have like big
Yeah.
heads and tiny
Yeah.
bodies. Is always
Yeah.
how it is. And then you're processing it, you know? There's, like,
It's
a
so
whole-
true. You're all aliens. That's why you get so
No,
many roles. You're all
pretty much.
aliens.
Pretty much.
It's funny because professional athletes are the opposite. And then, I was in Vegas and I saw a basketball player, and I was like, oh, so that's what 6'11" looks like. Because your brain doesn't really know how to process that.
No.
And he was
That's
like
a
in the
good
elevator,
point.
and he had to kind of crouch down because he's 6'11".
I love it. Oh man.
Now, getting back to some soundtrack stuff. So maybe this is another like it was the label's decision, but I also noticed that you were in that Save Ferris had soundtrack contributions to Dawson's Creek like a few times over, and
Yeah.
Roswell. And I was wondering if you remember that, and if you like, did you have some kind of contract with like the CW? So because I need to know like
I
I need to
don't know. Like Epic was under the Sony umbrella, and Sony had their fingers in a lot of stuff. So
Right.
it might have had something to do with that. We were like on an episode of Roswell. We were in it.
You were in it.
We were
What happened in the Roswell episode? Because I couldn't find. Like I don't remember. Were you at a prom?
we were not at a prom. I know that. I'm pretty sure it was Colin Hanks was in it. And I hope I'm thinking of the right show because we were on a couple shows. And it was like it had something to do with a dream sequence. And one of our songs was in his dream sequence. And then I sort of showed up, I think, in his dream or during his waking hours. I can't remember, but we had this short interaction. I think I had one line, and I practiced it over and over and over again. The line was something like "no problem" or something like so easy. And I was like, "This is so weird." But Colin Hanks was super cool, and a bass player, and a musician.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
cool. Confirmed he was in Roswell, so you are remembering it, I think.
Oh, thank God.
Roswell had doesn't have the reputation for like being a big music show, but I think they did a lot of cool like under the radar things like that. And I believe their theme song, like starting in one of the seasons, was like a Sensefield song.
Ooh, I like Sensefield.
And it's like, oh, good for them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Again, I think they had like pretty strong, relationships with labels and really good music supervision on a lot of those teen shows. Like they weren't phoning it in. It was actually a really kind of nice place to sometimes discover music.
Yeah, totally. I still kind of discover music through the shows that I watch. Like I was watching The Bear,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's this beautiful version of English Beat Song.
By Eddie Vedder. Is it the Eddie Vedder cover?
I had no idea it was Eddie Vedder.
Yeah.
I was like, God, this is so beautiful. So I Shazammed it. I like rewound the episode and then Shazammed it. And I was like, no, that's not, I can't be Eddie Vedder. And then I did it again. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is Eddie Vedder. It is so beautiful.
And I think they got him to do it for the show.
They did. Yeah. I like read into it and saw who produced it because it's produced so beautifully. It's a famous, very, very like award-winning producer who produced it. And I was so thoroughly impressed. Oh, and his voice just sounds wonderful. I mean, I was never like a Pearl Jam fan, really, but that really made me a fan of Eddie's for sure.
Yeah, it's a great version of that song.
It's a great
Yeah.
version. I think it captured a lot of people's attention. And the music supervision on television in general, prestige TV right now, but also The Bear specifically is so great, so well curated, really close to, I think, the showrunner's vision for. We could talk about Monique, we could talk
Agreed.
about The Bear this entire show because
Dude, you and me both.
we're obsessed.
I love that show.
Even when
love
we hate
it.
that show, we love that show. And it's
I
all
know.
we talk about.
I love it. So true. Yeah.
I did find the St. Vincent needle drop from this season to be like, I think this is like a little too cool for the Bear.
Yeah, I think The Bear sometimes does best when it's like really leaned into like some what you would maybe qualify as dad rock, when it's like a Van Morrison or it's an Eddie Vedder cover, like that feels really right, like something
Yeah.
they would actually listen to. But I'm
Here's
like, I don't know.
our fourth needle drop from the Weezer's Blue album.
I I noticed that too. I was like, God, they love Weezer.
They do love it.
A
They
lot
do.
of 90s. A lot of 90s
Yeah, a
stuff
lot of Weezer, a lot
on
of
there.
Wilco.
Yes. I was kind of like, huh. All right. Well, okay. I guess this is what we're doing with the bear. We're just visiting the 90s musically every episode. But again, like it worked.
You know, I
Really
have a
great.
friend in the restaurant industry, and I feel like his ability to like find new music stopped when he joined the restaurant industry. Like that's
Oh,
the deadline. After that, like no new music.
I mean, if you're in that industry, you are nonstop, right? They just seem so busy, and just it seems to just take so much time and energy. And I can imagine you just come home exhausted. Like, nope, I don't have time to look for new records today. Bye.
Well, you're saying that as somebody in like a touring band, like you're somebody like preparing to go on
Yeah.
tour across
Yeah.
the UK and like have a really constant schedule. So I feel like that's also got to be something that is really crazy.
Yeah. No, yeah, it is. It's crazy. And I'm tired all the time. And I'm always like, I'm too old for this shit. Like,
I think even people that are young are too old for that shit, though.
it's
hard.
yeah, it's hard. And, you're dealing with like a lot of moving parts at all times, and lots of personalities, and it's sort of like herding cats a lot. So not only is it like emotionally very strenuous, but it's also very physically like exhausting.
Yeah, and what you do on stage and what you do with your instrument, with your voice, must also be a really hard thing to keep up. Do you have like tricks for how you keep your voice, especially on the road?
Well, I do have a short warm up that I've been doing since I was a child. And then I just like, I can't really go out after the show and meet people and talk in loud bars and stuff like that. Even doing signings, I have to be really careful with, because it puts a lot of strain on the voice.
Mm-hmm. Sure. That'll do it.
Yeah.
It's not even like going out and getting wrecked. It's just like you can't talk in a loud place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I will go out with y'all tonight, but all I'm going to do is drink. I'm not going to talk. And I am doing this for the sake of the band. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it.
I'll shake a hand, I'll sign something, take a selfie, but I
Yeah.
won't talk.
That's
Yes.
the disclaimer. You need like a little paddle, that's got some version of that on it.
Yeah, sorry, can't talk.
Not blowing you off, just not talking.
Totally.
So I pulled up a couple of fun facts of bands, of people from bands that you may have toured with or played shows with, that are kind of related to soundtracks and just kind of music in general. So do you remember the Gray Boy All-Stars, the San Diego band?
I do.
Yeah, like one of the guys from there, like he's a huge soundtrack composer now. His name is Michael Andrews.
Oh, yeah. He
yeah.
was in Gray Boy?
Yeah, he was Elgin Park in Gray Boy.
Oh, I'd met him a few times back in the day. Yeah, Mike Andrews. No kidding.
Yeah, now he's doing like a Donnie Darko, and I think he did like Get Him to the Greek and stuff, which, is infamous for other reasons, but he's scored that in film.
Yeah, and he was responsible for that great cover in Donnie Darko, right?
Right. The Mad World cover.
Mad World, yeah.
Because I remember like looking up, I was like, who is Michael Andrews? Like, can't be just nobody and have this huge cover of and I was like, oh, he was in Gray Boy All-Stars? Like, that's so random.
Dang, that's cool.
And then the producer Ariel Reichstadt, he was in a ska band called the Hippos.
I'm very familiar.
And
he produced the Haim stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We just interviewed Keith from We Are Scientists. I think he did the first few albums of theirs as well. He's done a lot of stuff. But yeah, he was in a LA ska band called the Hippos, and according to his Wikipedia, they couldn't quite break through because they were from LA and not Orange County, and Orange County did not accept them.
Okay, I need to know if that's confirm or deny. Was that a thing, Monique?
No, we played a lot of shows with the Hippos.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like maybe
I-
that is not true.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, LA, Orange County, I don't know. Maybe, but we played a lot of shows with them. I remember really liking them a lot.
Was the LA, or not LA, was the San Diego Orange County rivalry a real thing, or was that just kind of a marketing thing to make compilations?
I've only just now heard of it. Like, I didn't even know there was a rivalry.
Because I remember
Between
going to like
SD and OC.
a local record shop, and there'd be like SD versus OC, pop punk and ska, and I'd be like, oh, am
Yeah.
I supposed to not like them?
No.
People love to
No.
make like a local rivalry, like it's sports teams or something. Or like everybody's
Yeah.
gonna start snapping, and it's like a Sharks and the Jets, like knife fight, you know, with like horns with brass instruments. But it feels like that's not true.
No.
Having kind of like lived that moment. I don't think
Yeah,
that happened.
no.
Yeah, like I thought it was controversial when I was like in high school, and I was like, oh, I like Rancid and Skank and Pickle. I like Bay Area ska bands, and be like, oh, what about San Diego? And be like, I don't know, you guys don't
Bay
have
Area
a
ska
Korean
bands
band.
were super cool too. I
Yeah.
love Skank and Pickle, and I love.
And I was like, which one of you has a Korean guy that's writing all the music?
Right
Nobody.
on? And he went on to do great things too. Mike Park,
Yeah, he's still a legend.
still a legend. Has a label, I believe.
Still runs it out of his mom's garage.
It's cute. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I think my friend told me that one of the girls in the Linda Lindas, I think her dad was like in a ska band, and now he like engineers albums and stuff.
Well, that's so interesting.
That's amazing.
So just because ska may not be as big as it was in the 90s doesn't mean that these people from these bands aren't doing great things still.
Yeah. I wonder what band he was in. I wonder if I know him.
I bet you do, because my friend who was in the Knuckle Brothers knows him.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right.
I assume that if they know someone, you know someone.
Yeah, I feel like if Monique doesn't know you, then
Then it doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
around.
Then yeah. If I don't know you, you don't exist.
Yeah, like
No.
I remember we played the Day of Fullerton a few years ago, and my friend was like, I was like, oh, you guys want to go out for a drink or something? And he's like, no, I'm gonna go over and catch my friend. Said he's the lead singer of Skapesh Mode.
Depeche Mode. Nice.
That's hilarious.
And I feel like
Uh,
like I said, like people love their ska days, and they love to connect with those people. So
Yeah. It's not just a type of music, it's a lifestyle. And I think that's why it never dies. It's been through all these different incarnations, and it just keeps. It's like a. What is it? It's like a bad. It's like a bad something. It just never goes away. It's like a bad. I don't know. It's like a wart.
Wart.
It just never. It's like as hard as you try and make ska go away, that thing just comes right back.
there's something very just like human about ska music. I have two young kids, and like it's one of the first styles of music that they just really connected to.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something about the fast upbeat that tends to be joyful. I once heard ska music referred to as the song that plays in a kid's head when they get an extra chicken nugget with their French fries. I'm like, that's perfect. It's true. It's that little song that you're, oh, yeah, I got an extra chicken nugget.
That's hilarious. It's
Oh,
the
today's the best day
13th
ever.
McNugget.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
amazing.
I was probably
Yeah.
playing in my daughter's head yesterday when we went to 7-Eleven, and I was like, it's free because it's 7-Eleven day. I get a Slurpee for free? And probably a ska song was probably in her head.
Probably a ska song.
Well, I mean,
Mhm.
it is very like soundtrack your life, right? Where it's
Mhm.
kind of the thing that you hear when you're walking around town, you're having a really good day. Like that's the
Mhm.
kind of music that you want playing in your own fantasy.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Everything's always like 75 and sunny and feel great,
It's
you know.
true.
And I think
It's
people
true.
really need that and love that. And that's why there's so much, I think, both love for it still and it finds new fandoms and why there's so much nostalgia for it. And people, of course, want to relive that and live in that.
Absolutely.
That's got to be really exciting to see now that you're touring. And it's got to be cool to like see the fans again and see their response to what you do.
Yeah. I think it's really fun to see the new fans too. I'm sort of amazed every time I look down. I say, "Who's been to a Save Ferris show?" And like no one raises their hands. I'm like, "Oh, I guess we got a whole bunch of new fans here."
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Super
It's
cool.
enduring. Yeah.
Yeah, I love seeing bands that have been on the scene and then going to their show and somebody's brought like their preteen kid and it like means something to them as a family and to that
Mm,
kid. Like I love the idea that things get passed on.
yeah.
I don't think I mean it's not a wart, you know? I think it's I think it's a great legacy.
Like a more like a carbuncle.
Yeah, a
I
lip
love that
line,
word.
a carbuncle is so gross.
No, it definitely not. Nah, no, it's like a freckle that you really it's like it's like a birthmark or a mole that you really like when you look in the mirror.
There it is.
You're like,
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah, I'm not getting rid of
It's
that.
there. Yeah, it's
We got
there. It's not going
history.
anywhere. Yes, we got history, sister. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a podcast friend who I think found some AI filter that got rid of like the mole on her nose or something, and she was like, how dare you erase that from my history? I'm proud of that.
I like that.
AIs. I really hope that they call you up to do some Yo Gabba Gabba because my kids love that show, and I feel like it's got because I think the Aquabats guys are behind it,
Yeah,
and
I love that show too.
and my kids have discovered the Interrupters through that show.
Oh, I didn't know they were on that show.
Yeah, they were on the new season, and my kids love that song.
Oh, that's really cool.
So through all these like different means, some of them that we don't even know about, like ska is like spreading everywhere. Like TikTok, I'm sure has like a bunch of like ska memes going around, and
Yeah, lots.
we're really excited about the singles you've released. I hope that means maybe an album's coming, or
It is
at least
a
an EP.
full-length album. Well, yeah, a full length is coming.
Ooh, that's
We're
very
just
exciting.
figuring out the right time to release it. It's pretty much done.
Well, that's super exciting.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, but I know is not really available for streaming in the studio version, but it's on the live album that you guys did a few years ago.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting because it was on the 10 Things I Hate About You soundtrack. And I feel like if you pull up the soundtrack on at least Spotify, I think it's on there.
Oh, I have Apple Music.
Maybe I'm
and
wrong.
It's grayed out.
I know is grayed out.
We're going to need to settle this because I definitely saw the live version on Spotify as well when I was looking this up.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm trying to remember if it's officially. Oh, you know what? Yeah, sometimes this weird thing happens, right? With like rights and usage where it will be on the original soundtrack. If you're lucky enough to own that physical media, you've got it. And it just doesn't translate to streaming. And it does seem like it might just be the live version everywhere, which is crazy.
Well, that's why we
Interesting.
always recommend people
Yeah.
buy the physical media.
Right? Agreed.
This movie just turned 25, I think, last year. So Yeah, I want to believe that maybe it's been re-released on vinyl and you can get, something, the complete version of what's in the film. That would be cool if you can.
I hope so. Yeah, people show up with the records like on vinyl for me to sign sometimes, and I'm like, "Did you just get this?" And
Probably.
or have you had it? Like, so because I don't remember them originally releasing it on vinyl, so I think that's a new thing.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, they're probably shiny and
Mhm.
new.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mid to late '90s, there's like a like this big gap of like no one releasing anything on vinyl.
I know. I'm so glad that we're back
Yeah, I'm glad it's
on
back.
vinyl. I love vinyl.
I'm glad that Taylor's done with her versions of things, so then the pressing plants can press other records.
Ah.
Well, thank you, Monique. It was an honor to talk to you.
Thank you so much, you two. What a nice conversation. I had a great time.
Yeah, we had a great time talking to you. We loved chatting about the future of Save Ferris as well as, going back to the past and talking about 10 things I hate about you. It is
Yeah,
honestly
that
one
was
of
fun.
the, like when I tell people I have a soundtrack podcast, 10 Things I Hate About You comes up a lot. Like, oh, have you covered 10 Things I Hate About You? Is that kind of what you're going to do on your podcast? Cover stuff like 10 Things I Hate About, and so finally we have it.
Ah, that's so great. Yeah, that movie, I'm so grateful for it. It really we can go anywhere in the world and people know that movie. It's just so well loved.
Yeah, and the music is a huge part of it, and obviously you're not just there for like a second. It's not a you blinked and you missed Save Ferris. Like you're in such a important part of the movie.
It is the Save Ferris prom. Like, let's
It
just
is
be
the
very
Save
clear.
Ferris prom.
That thing that's blasting off into the 2000s, then like the two turrets on that weird high school are like literally blasting off like rockets. Like you're on you're on that poster, okay? Like it's important.
Thank you. I love it. That's great. Oh,
Make sure you check out the new Save Ferris songs. You got Get Dancing and Ooh Ooh Rudy. They're available wherever you want to listen to music.
please do.
And, maybe buy some physical copies of Save Ferris albums.
I'd be all right with that. And with that, I gotta go. There's someone at my door.
Oh, well, that's
All right.
you know what? Fair.
So, you can check out Save Ferris. We'll post links to their socials. We'll post links to their website where you can find their tour dates. And you can find us. If you want to check out our writing site, blog.soundtrackyourlife.net, we have both free and paid tiers for that. And we are on social media, Blue Sky at soundtrackyourlife.net, on Instagram at soundtrackcast. And if you are someone that represents Ewan McGregor, slide into our DMs. We'd love to interview you.